Lovely stuff. Table scraps. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for coming to talk to us at Birmingham Review. For the benefit of the day, quick roll call. When I call your name, say aye. Tim.
Aye.
Poppy.
Hello.
Scott.
Aye.
Lovely stuff. So we are at the Hare Hounds today because you have your single My Obsession launched today. That's right.
Yes.
Excited?
Very much so.
Yeah, Scott's
it's actually
very
out
excited.
tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
So
On all digital media and whatever, but we've got copies to sell tonight because we're nice like that.
and you had the video premiere about a week ago, wasn't that right?
Yeah, just the start of this week actually. So coming up to a week ago, yeah. Been dripping it all out and keeping people desperate for more.
So the response has been desperate, or what's the feedback been like so far?
I mean, overwhelmingly positive. I mean, we kind of started this to kind of get the ball rolling again, didn't we? And we sort of said we're not expecting a lot from it. We're not going to sort of push it properly. But then it kind of just gathered its own momentum, which I guess is, in our position, is as good a sign as you can hope for, really.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's a split single with Black Mekon, and we want to just try and get as much press for them as well because their 7-inch singles club thing's been really cool.
This is the 45 Consortium, right?
Yeah.
So how did you guys get involved in this? This is number 5 on their... They're doing 6 in total and you're number 5, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a subscription
Number 5
based
or number
thing.
6?
We're 5.
5.
Obnox is going to be number 5. I don't know if I've just ruined any surprises.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can people get a copy of that then? If they're not coming tonight, where's it going to be on sale?
Ours, we are selling on Bandcamp. We had an amount that we got. That's the deal that they've done. So every band that's part of it, as a thank you for taking part of it, they get a selection of singles to sell, and then there's some that go to their subscriber members only. So it's kind of one or two ways, and the packages differ slightly different. So we've got all
We've
of
sold most of the online already. I'm
congrats.
assuming. Thank you.
We allocated a load for online, and yeah, they've nearly gone.
They've
posting
nearly
them all
gone.
out.
There's a handful, I think, that are left.
On our Bandcamp.
And then we've got obviously some tonight and.
Yeah, we've got 50 tonight that we're going to just split between us.
Okay.
The sales between them. Whoever hasn't ordered it already from us or is part of the 45 Consortium,
Good stuff.
or just wants a spare.
How many are you pressing then? It's a limited press for each of these singles, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like 200 or something, 250. 250 or 3. No,
I love how we have no idea.
no, it is 250. Yeah.
Stock take is very confusing for us. It's
I
like,
just put the sleeve in the thing and then it just goes out my hand.
just disappears.
Are you going to be taking, because you're on, you've come back from Bristol recently and you've been tonight and you've got a string of UK dates coming up. Is this to push this single or is it just a nice crossover that's happening?
I think it's just to play, really, to be honest.
Just the London one we're calling a single launch because it's close enough because it's Tuesday. But other than that, like, yeah, it's just good to announce that we're back and we're out there and we're going to be booking quite a lot of tour dates for the rest of the year.
Okay. Well, we wish you the best of luck. You've got some really nice dates coming up, which I'm going to run through in a bit. You were last in the Hare Hounds for Idols, right? Part of their...
That was
what was the tour?
The Brutalism
Brutalism
tour,
tour,
yeah.
that's right. 14th of March.
That was it.
Nice to be back in the Hare, home turf.
Always nice to be
I was
back.
saying earlier, like, I was wondering how many dates I've played at the Hare since I was like 14-ish. It must be like
100.
100 might be pushing it, but I reckon it's not
easy, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe.
It's probably 40 to 50, yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
You played with Black Mekon before, or is this the first time you guys have done
We've played with Black Mekon before.
We both
few
played
times.
with Kid Congo Powers here, didn't we?
Yeah. And we've done some sort of lock-up, unofficial party kind of shows as well with them, which are always really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Right, My Obsession. So there's a definite 3D theme running through this single. What's going on with that then? You're getting 3D glasses tonight, I believe, anybody that buys the single.
Well, each part of the consortium, as a kind of a thank you for the people that invest in it.
Yeah.
There's more to it than just getting a 45. The Black Mekon have made like cards and inserts and tattoos of like the bands that are involved. Just something to kind of take it back to the the old-fashioned way of like when you pick up a record and you'd like pore over it and get all the detail and getting
It's
extra
just
value
novel,
for
isn't it? It's novel.
So they had a load of 3D glasses that they didn't really know what to do with, and then when a lot of our artwork is old-fashioned like B-movie 3D themed anyway. So it kind of all came together quite fortuitously, and we were thinking, wow, wouldn't it make sense if we made the cover art 3D, like an anaglyph, you know, when you put on the blue and red glasses and it kind of pops out. And that happened, and then from that we were thinking about video ideas, and then we were thinking, well, why don't we just make the video in 3D as well, which we have done. I mean, fortunately we do have all the skills in-house, so we are able to indulge our tastes quite deeply.
Yeah.
There's no industrial light and magic budget floating around somewhere behind you that's propelling this. And I mean, your feel is a huge part of the way you guys come across, and it feels very authentic and it feels very self-governed. Is that an accident, or was it something you set out to do? I mean, it's quite high spec as well. It's not kids stuff. So.
It's just seeing bands not knowing what they're really doing, spending all their money on a video, a photo shoot, production, and just completely losing all the creative control, losing interest in what they do, and then fucking it off. Like, if you've got the ability to be able to, I'll sacrifice the best snare drum in the world to be able to just record ourselves and have the best feel and, like, you know, and mix it as we want it, rather than you know, like having a shit time in a £200 a day studio somewhere and then not liking the end product. So it's just having the it's not a control freak thing, but it's just, you know, a bit of between all of our different areas of experience, of knowing what you can do with a photo, what you can do with graphic design, what you can do with production. Seems like we have most bases covered, I think. So we're lucky in that respect, I guess. But yeah, because creative satisfaction is like the most important thing.
I think I agree. We live in an age where a lot of this stuff can be home studio based, and it's a lot more accessible, and the need to spend on the studios or the things that people would have seen as important before are probably less important these days. Have you? You used to sell your artwork and a small zine of your flyer artwork and stuff like that. What's on the merch stall today then? What can people get down and buy from you? If they can't get a copy of the single, which might already be sold now.
We've got a glow in the dark T-shirt. That's new.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Everyone likes glow in the dark.
We should have had that to preview here.
Yeah, I know. I should have been wearing one.
This is your chance. We can stop the film.
No, it's fine. We've got to get doors open, get the rider, and get the float, and sort the guest list, and sort all the pre-sales out that we haven't done yet. And we're in 10 minutes.
LPs, cassettes, which people insist is a dead format, but when we listen to it, we kind of prefer it. Obviously, singles, 45s, CDs, which we
people always just ask, and it's like, if you're going to give something away, you give them a CD rather than a vinyl, because we've only got a limited quantity of them.
We really under-ordered originally, didn't we?
Yeah.
And everyone's been asking ever since, like, do you have a CD? No. So we just made some. Made some more.
It's a good problem to have, really. I mean, you're wearing, you mentioned cassettes, and you're wearing a Burger Records t-shirt too.
Yes.
So they release your stuff in the US, and then they're big on the cassettes. Really.
Yeah. No, they did an imprint called Wiener Records,
right,
which was a kind of tape club where they had a no judgment, anyone could do it.
Oh, okay.
And if you submitted, they didn't want to get into being another label like they are, so anyone could do it, and there's a split cost, and they kept some to sell in America, and then you got the rest sent here. It was slightly more expensive than having them pressed here, but we just did it so that our American fans could buy it easier without having to pay £6 shipping for a £3 or £4 cassette, send it over, so they can get it from the Wiener site.
Okay.
But Burger, the label itself, is also one of our favourite labels. They put out loads of bands that we really like, and
lots that we've played with, obviously, across the years.
Yeah.
King Tuff, The Garden, etc.
Mm-hmm.
You going to play over in the US with them? So plans to?
It's the dream, I guess, isn't it?
We're planning for Europe this year, so that's one thing.
Okay.
You have been out to a few of the festivals. Well,
Burger put on some really good festivals. They put on Fuzzville in Spain, and then Burger Boogaloo and Burgerama.
Burgerama was the one.
On the West Coast, and they're really good. Playing them would be absolutely great.
What's the response for your music in the US? I mean, my researcher in crime, Damien, was trying to school me in the difference between American and British punk, and where yours was fitting for him. But what's your reception been like in the US as opposed to the UK?
It's sporadic, isn't it? People who buy the record are all. It doesn't seem to be one kind of person.
Yeah,
Grace Jones bought the record.
That's a pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's
on our Bandcamp, it's from everywhere, isn't it? Across the US, there's no sort of
Absolutely no rhyme or reason to it. It's everywhere.
And then across Europe as well. But I mean, I don't know if there's any difference between American fans and British ones. Really.
Wait till we get there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's slightly novel that we're British to them. I don't know, but
do you feel the punk scene's different there than it is in the UK? I mean.
Well, we were discussing this before the Idols thing, weren't we, Scott, about how Piss Jeans, and the kind of conclusion we came to is that American punk bands are much better at like humour and sort of tongue-in-cheek stuff, and we were sort of saying there isn't a British punk band that can do that, and then we saw Idols, and they kind of really nail that sort of post-masculinity. Like, you think that they're 5 big scary white guys that are going to come at you from stage, but they're really kind of they abhor like male bravado and all of that stuff, and it's really refreshing to sort of see that the punk scene and rock and live music in general is accelerating and keeping up with societal changes rather than being a dinosaur.
Good stuff, good stuff. I'm just thinking of the cabbage stuff that's happened recently, whether we're crossing boundaries with this, but
yeah.
Okay, so I know you guys have got to get to the stage, so I'm going to sort of blast through some of the obvious questions. 2 became 3 relatively recently. Do you want to talk us through that? You don't have to if it's too personal, but have to ask the question. So
yeah, it's fine. I mean, it was 2 main reasons. One of them was we'd had so much time off because I had surgery last year, and then we had to enforce that to I was on crutches for so long. And then the thought of carrying around the amount of gear that we used to take to shows, even though there was 2 people in the band, we used to end up, we were taking more than we take now, because we could never share anyone's drum kit. We'd always have to have our own, because we built it at the front of the stage, standing up. I'd use this wall of like Sabbath henge amps to try and get the bass and guitar sounds and all the rest of it.
It sounds like it would be more easy, and like, you can just rock up and play with whatever, but actually it was completely the opposite. It was like
but now we more or less can rock up and play.
Yeah.
We went to Madrid with just nothing. We didn't even we just took a couple of fuzz pedals and that was it.
Yeah.
And then this band were really nice to lend us their stuff, and we just played the show. It felt like normal.
Brilliant.
We could never even dreamt of that without huge splitters. Try and do it as a 2-piece.
So with the dates I've got, I won't run through them all, but there's a few. Nice to see you heading to the Lock Tavern in Camden again. But then you're back in Brum for the Beyond the Tracks Festival in September. On a Saturday night with a pretty decent hand-picked lineup. How's that feeling?
Pretty cool.
It's good to be recognised in that sense as the best of the locals type thing. I mean,
it's your birthday as well.
It'll be my 27th birthday as well. So if it's a 3 PM set, I'll probably be mostly conscious. I mean, obviously we respect a lot of what the team behind Beyond the Tracks do in terms of what they've done at Moseley, in Moseley, what they've done. What other festivals is there?
Luna.
Of course, Luna's the one I'm thinking of. In terms of getting that balance right of big acts that are going to be a draw, but also kind of reinvesting in the scene and giving us a platform, because being from Birmingham and not having that obvious hub of industry activity that you get in London, you can often very easily just be looked over. So having that kind of platform is really important for bands in our position, I think.
I get the sense from Beyond the Tracks that it's a really hand-picked lineup as well, and there's no
filler.
Yeah, exactly. It's really strong. As a publication, we're genuinely really looking forward to that one. And happy birthday. We hope you enjoy it as well.
I'm sure I will.
Okay, so very quickly, because it was June 2015 your album came out, and we are nearly 2 years later. Anything coming? Anything in the pipelines coming out yet?
Next album is 95% recorded.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
There's literally like a few tambourines here and there.
How did you calculate that one?
Every tambourine is 1%.
Okay.
A few vocals, and then it's ready to mix. So
it's sounding really good.
Yeah, a bunch of labels who, although we released that one ourselves, there's a few labels in different places around the world that have shown some interest at the moment, but it's just, we don't want to take those conversations too far when it's hypothetical until we've got, here's some tracks, do you like it, what's going to happen? Okay. So we're going to see what happens, but before the end of the year, definitely.
Okay, well, we'll
Is
be
the
back
plan.
for that when you can release some information about that. Give us a shout. We'd love to get involved.
Yeah,
Give it a
definitely.
listen. So I'm going to love you and leave you, but just before you go, we had a little bit of a, as I say, my partner in research, Damien, and I were trying to imagine what you would do to relax after the gig, and we came up with ideas that ranged from anything from a hardcore punk party to something that was more Cocoa and Slippers based. So whereabouts, when we're all done
relax
here,
after a gig?
yeah, what do you do to
I
relax?
don't think you do
I'm
we?
pretty
I
much,
just carry on.
usually loads of equipment into the van
Yeah.
and then cry that you've got to work the next day. It's usually,
Yeah.
it's usually the plan.
Okay, so grafting and tears, lovely, excellent. So, guys, thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Really good luck with the single, good luck with the gig tonight, and give us a shout when the album comes out. Fantastic.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.